Good day, everyone. My name is Serra, and I'm joining you from University of Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates. Thanks for attending our panel. This is a co-authored conference paper that I collaborated with my colleague from İzmir Katip Çelebi University, Dr. Burcu Öksüz. The title of our paper is The Perception of a Public Relations Practitioner in Society, an analysis on their education and personality characteristics. We were actually interested to explore the perception of PR practitioners by people from different professions in terms of education and personal characteristics. As you may very well know, there are actually quite many studies on the perception of public relations profession, but not so much on the education of a public relations practitioner and personality characteristics of the public relations practitioner. I do not intend to go into the details of the literature review. In the full paper, you will read our literature review. I would like to talk more on the methodology, but maybe with a few slides, I would like to share with you some of the important studies related with this. From our country, from Turkey, two recent studies that I would like to share with you. One is on the perception of public relations profession in the society, example of Elazığ City by Tan Yıldız and Ataykaya in 2019. And then another study in 2017 which looks at the attitudes and perceptions on public relations profession of relatives of students who study public relations and publicity programs. This paper by Elizabeth Toth in 2014 looks into the professional characteristics expected by entry-level PR practitioners, thinking critically, creatively, independently, take on new tasks, accept criticism, punctuality, accepting responsibility, time management, following instructions, attention to details, willingness to learn are the characteristics expected from that group of PR practitioners. Another study by Callison and his colleagues, the two important findings of the research was PR practitioners are seen positively as related to intellect and personality, but they were seen negatively as related to ethics, unfortunately. On this slide, you see the required personal competencies, a study done by the Russian Public Relations Association. Willingness and ability to learn continuously, responsibility, attention, communication skills, proactivity, openness to changes. So those are the personal competencies expected from PR practitioners. Professional bond is a very important document related with public relations education. And I would like to share a statement from this professional bond study, which says that public relations education must be interdisciplinary, and particularly this should be in liberal arts and sciences. Now, our study, what did we do? We conducted semi-structured interviews with 30 people from different professions. We conducted most of our interviews through Zoom. Some of our interviews took place face-to-face, 6, and 2 we did this by phone. In our sample, we had 14 male and 16 female participants, and the age range of our participants is from 24 to 71. The interviews took place from June to September and lasted from 30 to 50 minutes. They were all recorded, transcribed, And we classified our data under two themes, which are education of a public relations practitioner and personality characteristics of a public relations practitioner. In this table, we are showing you the profession of our participants. As you can see, we do have quite a variety of professions in our sample. Lawyer, doctor, industrial engineer, real estate agent, interior designer, pharmacist, tailor, store manager, teacher, architect, and so on. What are our findings? What can we say about this? Okay, in terms of education, the participants state that public relations practitioner should have a university education, and this should be primarily in communication, marketing, and psychology. And another important thing that came out of the study is that they say that the public relations practitioners should be open to learning and continue always with their professional development. Here on this slide, we are sharing with you some of the quotes from our participants. As I said earlier, psychology, theoretical background, they're expecting them to have also practice knowledge. They are sharing with us that marketing, HR, and also emphasizing that they should be, have education in public relations and also in other related fields. In terms of the characteristics, those are the characteristics of that we gathered from our interviews. Communicates well, dynamic, patient, energetic, friendly, sociable, self-expressive, good listener, can achieve what he or she wants. Someone in kind of in the middle with a moderate temperament and also solution-oriented. On this slide and the upcoming one, we do have some direct quotes from our participants related with the personality characteristics expected from a public relations practitioner. Tolerant people, how to act, they should know how to act in different situations, extrovert, a good listener, a good communicator. Again, there had been, an analogy with the color. Colorful personalities like a peacock, colors, red. It should not be red. I'm red. I cannot be a public relations practitioner. Blue, because he has to be analytic. Green, a peaceful character. Analytic, peaceful, and objective. Tolerance, again, we see here, patience, calm, good communication, flexible, has to be trusted, has to have solid knowledge. As a conclusion, we can say that there is a general awareness about public relations profession, but of course, compared to other established professions, public relations is not known by the participants who are coming from different professions. But on the other hand, they have ideas about public relations practitioners in their minds, and they all agree that not everyone can do public relations. They have to have an education, and they must be knowledgeable in communication, but not necessarily in public relations education. In the minds of the participants, public relations is perceived as a difficult and important profession to practice, and also the personal characteristics. Definitely a good communicator, extrovert, solution-based, and someone who can adapt himself or herself to situations. And as a last word, what was interesting for us was Although the profession is not very well known, the participants' articulations of education and personality characteristics expected from public relations practitioners are accurate. If these had been addressed to people from our field, they would have, their evaluation would have been similar to those who are not coming from the public relations profession. So that's, as a final word, this is what we want to say. Again, thank you so much for attending our panel, and I'm sending you my warm wishes, and I wish you a very good symposium. Thanks.